IVM.
Hey everybody, quick request once again, if you could help us out by filling out our survey. It's at ivmpodcast.com/survey. This really helps us talk to advertisers about the kinds of people listening to these shows. Really do appreciate your help, and we're going to be doing a random drawing, and we'll be sending out some IVM swag. Hope you enjoy that.
Welcome everybody to the first episode of 2021, the first of many, I should say that. And I want to discuss, and I hope you have had a new year with your families, and if you hung out with friends, I hope you guys were wearing masks while drinking. Is that the way the things are now? I don't know. I haven't gone out for a while. I sit at home and record podcasts, and with me, there are many like me right now, but the only company I enjoy is of my friends Karthik, Iyer, and Sivaram Parmeshwaran. Hello.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. That was so sweet. Wow. I think just the start of the year, he's going to be sweet, and the rest of the year, he's going to be back.
Yeah. Maybe. And this time, I'll probably try and push a little more to be nicer. But more on that later. That's another podcast. But we'll stick to football. There's a lot to talk because I haven't seen Sivaram happy for 3 straight weeks or 2 straight weeks ever for the last 1 year or probably 15 years.
I pulled out my jersey also just for this episode.
Yeah. So... I mean, he's really happy. He's really smiling. So, Karthik, before I come to you, let me just let Sivaram speak about how he felt, about not just winning, but what a goal by Tierney. Everything said, and what a fantastic goal, wasn't it?
It was a brilliant goal. I think it's the cherry on the top of this pile that we're, winning. And I think we discussed this on the podcast that, Arsenal have a good run with mediocre teams, that now is a good time to, pile on the points. And they did exactly that. What changed was fantastic finishing. The other thing that changed was Arteta, I think, does read tweets and social media banter because the entire world was telling him to play the kids. He finally did play the kids. Martinelli, fantastic, even though there was a scare in the middle. Emil Smith-Rowe, even Ozil tweeted about it. Oh, suddenly the team looks different with a number 10 in it. Guess who the other number 10 is? And I can't forget Tierney's goal. What a fantastic finish against West Brom. I'll discount it just for that. But, football has a short memory. Liverpool drew with West Brom 1-1. But, who again is Liverpool, right?
I know. I have a quick question, this one for you. Are we happy for Arsenal as a club, or are we just more happy for the fans that the club has after this victory, three wins in a row? Is that right?
Aren't we like going a little overboard here? When United went on that crazy unbeaten run and when Chelsea went on, there was one member in this podcast who kept saying, look at the type of sides that they're playing. Arsenal played 2 matches against West Brom and Brighton, both sides below them, and they won easily. And against a very, very bad Chelsea side, which we knew that this was coming. So calm down.
No, so Karthik, my only contention is you seem to have a problem with drama as opposed to that seems odd for someone who's in theatre. So the twain doesn't meet for whatever reason. Can you explain that? Because you had a very adverse reaction to Hasenhüttl also crying yesterday.
Oh no, I was wondering. I thought there was more drama because he just came back from. I think he was in isolation due to COVID. So I was wondering if there's something more behind behind those tears. And then you told me that it's only for beating Klopp. I was like, okay, that doesn't really match up.
Also, the other fact is that he's held on to his position after losing to Leicester 9-0, if you remember.
Yeah, crazy, no?
So from there, just the fact that he's stuck along and he's gotten Southampton to, 5th, 6th in the table, I think it deserves some drama. And by drama, there's some sort of negative connotation that you're adding. I really detest the tone that you take with Arsenal fans. If anyone's listening out there and knows where Karthik lives, we can do something about it.
So it's not cool for Chelsea and United to go on 17-18 match unbeaten runs, but when Arsenal beat 3 teams and go on win 9 points out of 9, we're supposed to act like they're the best team.
No, so Karthik, what will happen is once we go on those 18-19 games streaks, then we'll be like, what are these average teams they're beating? But right now we've lost to every team. In the last 10 games. So it's more relief than, we're not excited about the prospects of, what a brilliant squad. It's about, thank God we can at least get some points because we are very close to the top of the table. Like the top half. I don't mean top half. So from someone who's, been 3 points clear of Fulham at one point in time, that tells a very telling story. So just for that fact, it's more relief. And I don't blame a Fulham fan for trying to rain on our parade.
Parade after beating West Brom. Nice.
You realize the tone of this episode. It's going to be like this. This is called table number 21 because the tables have changed for this year. May change, may not change at all. We don't know. We'll talk to Karthik about that. But before that, we'll just take a very quick break. Not very quick, actually. A little longer. Bye.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you aren't following us on social media, it's 2021 now. It's time you did. You didn't in 2020. That was bad enough. But now in 2021, you really, really should. It's IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And a quick reminder to everybody, just please help us out with our survey, ivmpodcast.com/survey. We've had a number of you fill it out so far, but we want to shatter last year's number, right? Really, really blow that up. Go fill out the survey over there. If you do, we'll select from the emails that we have got submitted, and we'll be sending out some interesting swag to people. So, what should you be listening to this week? First thing I want to talk about is the unprecedented episode. We did a triple crossover. Vineet Kanabar from Storytellers and Storysellers, Varun Dugirala from Advertising is Dead, and Karthik Nagarajan from the Filter Coffee Podcast all got together and put together a mega episode. Do check it out on whichever of their feeds you want. It's available on all three. And because it's the new year, let me recommend a few things just to make your life a little better. We have a number of shows which work on self-actualization and really helping people kind of get in touch with themselves and live their lives better. So do check out Begin the Journey by Ashish Vidyarthi, The Positivity Podcast with Chetna Chakravarti, and The Habit Coach with Ashton Doctor. Do check out all three of these shows, especially New Year's while you're looking at ways to kind of keep your resolutions. They will help. And with that, let me get you back to your show.
And we are back. Actually, before the question of the tables and top of the tables, I just want to get this one thing out. Where is Fulham? It's just been like some 2-3 weeks. I have not seen them. Have they just gradually gone like below the radar and like
they decided to leave the league? Yeah, like
that is why it's table number 21. They're now the 21st squad.
Where are they?
See, every like teams in Europe where there's more culture and they're more cultured as general countries in Europe have a Christmas break and a New Year break. England doesn't seem to want to follow that, but Fulham decided that they'll become a more, elite cosmopolitan club. So they took a break.
Wow, I don't know. I mean, you are literally in the league of your own.
But you have something against the UK. Like you have a very clear pet peeve against the United Kingdom, Britain, England, the EPL. Because even in the last night remark that you just make about cultured teams, about taking a break.
But that I do. That is completely there. Like I remember watching this video by The Rock, and I can tell this to I wish I could say this to any British guy, and I would like to, as long as I don't get smacked in the face. He said, I'm going to wipe the yellow off your teeth. And I want to say that to anyone from the UK listening in.
Yes.
Okay. It's a very difficult podcast.
Yeah, I mean, there's a political tremors.
Yeah, we're more political than Marcus Rashford, actually.
So it has nothing to do with politics. See, I like Rashford. He's nice. He has white teeth. Yeah, so it's fine.
Correct. No, dental care is important. Oral B, whoever out there, Ajanta, we are willing to take anybody's money right now.
If we've learned anything in 2021, it is dental and mental care is very important. So guys, please brush your teeth and breathe.
Correct. Very nice. Wow, you're so wise.
Breathe was that Abhishek Bachchan.
Correct. Who was also on a podcast. So if you haven't heard that episode, please go back. I think it's episode number 50, which was a landmark episode for us. Please go check it out. It's a fantastic listen, especially now you see Chelsea haven't done any favors to themselves.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, yes, there are other matches who've caused much more tremors in the league table, everything else. But just let's talk about the good football match that we had a chance to see, which was City absolutely thrashing Frank Lampard, which he came out and said we played good for 10 minutes, and Roy Keane's reaction was, but football is a game of 90 minutes. I don't know what we were doing there.
That's a good quote.
But that's the shittiest performance I have seen from Chelsea. I don't know what their problems are. Manifold. They've bought a lot of players, and they don't know who their starting 11 is. Not one position is cemented in that team, apart from probably Mason Mount,
and Lampard.
And Lampard. With all the other signings, I don't know if Chelsea fans really thought that Mason Mount would be the only player that would start for Chelsea. Everything is revolving around him right now. And Lampard's poor man management and everything else. Let's talk about that. Should we talk about City and the flair that they got to the game and the fact that I had Foden in my team and got so many points because of him?
No, Sapre, I think we should not talk about City. I think City finally woke up. Like they're the sleeping giant and they're finally woken up because they weren't delivering on those many goals. But I really want to hear Karthik's take on Chelsea and the game.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, we knew this was coming. We all knew it. Like, I mean, how many times to repeat like the same thing that Lampard is probably out of his depth in what he's doing. And at a point, you have to stop blaming Lampard and blame some of those players out there. I think even half of them don't realize what they're up to on the pitch. But then again, it's City. So can you really judge them? I would rather judge them on the Arsenal game where they were, in fact, in the City match, they actually started well in the first 10-15 minutes before City went on that 20-minute absolutely dominant spell. They started well. Against Arsenal, Chelsea were just taken off the park by a side that nobody expected would do that.
Just leave, nah. Just leave it in the middle, nah. Why do you have to complete your sentences all the time?
No. Even you didn't expect. We were watching the match before, which was against Burnley, and my God, that was bad. Yeah. But then, I mean, there's not much to say about Chelsea. I think the more poignant question would be whether Lampard goes, or because they've spent 200 million, whatever it was in the summer, you don't have a choice but to keep him.
Maybe spend another 100 million. And buy Pepe. What do you think?
Yeah, I just think the team needs 4 more players. To just have a set of 11 new players. Then
they just need a striker, a centre back, someone in the middle, and maybe a number 10. Then it will be a complete team.
Yeah, and in the dugout in the manager's chair. I mean, that's about it. I mean, apart from that, Chelsea are fine. But Karthik, to your point, should he be sacked or not? I don't know. I just read an article today. One of your favorite strikers from the past, Andrei Shevchenko.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Is being considered. I don't know how true that is. But he's liked by Chelsea as a club, right? And the fans.
Yeah, so Shevchenko, interestingly, was why Mourinho was sacked in his first spell. Abramovich got Shevchenko in. And he was literally forcing Mourinho to play him. And Jose didn't know how to play Shevchenko, although he's arguably one of the best strikers in the 2000s. Mourinho, for some reason, he just didn't know how to fit Shevchenko with Drogba in the same side. And that's one of the reasons, because he was being forced to play Shevchenko, Mourinho and Abramovich fought, and boom. That's how Move 1.0 ended.
I think the only position Shevchenko shouldn't play in is taking the last penalty in a penalty shootout. Otherwise, he's great.
What a fabulous striker was. Yeah, for a long time, when I read this news, I got a chance to go back and watch some Shevchenko videos again on YouTube. It's fun. What a lovely striker. This current Chelsea side would love to have a striker like Shevchenko.
Yeah, no, but not as a manager. Again,
he's not coming to play, Sapre.
He's done something at Ukraine, which is as good as what Lampard did at Derby County.
You know what I think, Sapre? One of your favourites is Chelsea's main fault line, which is N'Golo Kante. Okay, he has been good. He was good for 2 seasons. After that, it has been a steady decline from this guy. I know you hold him in like a very high regard. I think you forced us to include him in one of our teams of the year last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
he did, right? Yeah, but my God, this guy is... You saw he was beaten, right, for that. Was it the third goal where Sterling just
ran past him?
Yeah, he made a mistake. He gave the ball to Sterling, and then Sterling just took it and went past him.
Yeah, he also got a yellow card for that, for a professional foul. On that note, I'm digressing a little, but do you think Leicester have this knack of replacing their centre mids like a like-to-like? Because the player that they got is pretty good and reminds me of what N'Golo Kante was at his peak.
Who are you talking about? Mendy.
Really?
I thought he was a very poor player.
Really? Well, there you go. So it is right.
I'm saying when NDD plays, he plays with so much more flair and there's so much more movement of the ball. With Mendy,
maybe if you combined NDD and Mendy, it will be what I was saying.
NDD.
Good one.
I'm sure. But let's move on to the top of the table. I don't want to talk about the Liverpool match. I think it was a good match. I think Southampton literally put their bodies on the line numerous occasions.
I think that was a very good game with Southampton, trying to protect their 1-0 lead the entire game. Even though they attacked a couple of times and Valerie got that shot. Yeah. It was a fantastic game of football. And even though I had to stay up till 3:30, it was completely worth it.
It was good. Actually, for me, the entire game could never overshadow the wonderful goal that Ings scored without even looking. I remember a goal, I think in Champions League, Philip Koku scored a very similar goal, like good to see that.
You watched a lot of Milan videos today?
No, not today. I mean, Filippo was a good player back then. PSV and with Park Ji-sung, I think it was a good team back then. Anyhow, but we have Liverpool United happening in like a week or two. I don't know week. Let's talk in game weeks. So the next couple of game weeks they're playing each other. Is it going to change too much the attention? Even if Liverpool win, United lose, is it going to still be a tight title race? Do you guys feel Liverpool are really not managing the injury crisis as good as they should have? Siva, you pointed out they had 3 defenders on the bench.
Correct only. Well, he's right only. Now, what crisis if they have 3 defenders on the bench there and you're playing Fabinho and Henderson in centre defence?
Yeah, I mean, the point of a 15-man squad or a 25-man squad or a 35-man squad is that you have backups, right? I get that VVD is your biggest loss, but then you have other defenders that in your team. And even Combs pointed out, I mean, what are the defenders doing on the bench and your centre mid is playing CB? I mean, what is happening? Then
Liverpool are the only club to have had one big injury, which is Van Dijk, and call it a crisis.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. It's like Company getting injured or Laporte getting injured.
Right, because Alisson causes more harm when he's on the pitch, which is what he did yesterday. When he's off the pitch.
I saw this on Twitter. Someone actually pretty interesting thought that he's playing Henderson there because he's telling the board I want to spend in January. Like it's like ye dekh lo, matlab abhi ye karna pad raha hai.
Oh, Mourinho at Liverpool, nice. Same strategy Mourinho uses at every club.
They don't believe in sending email.
No. You have to. This is like 5th class. This is show and tell. This is email and all.
Yeah. But Southampton, good for them. I mean, I think they're 6th, but I think they have the same number of points as the 2 clubs above them as well.
Joint second. Joint third at the
Joint third, yeah. I think, yeah. So good for them. They had a little bit of a stutter over there. I think drew against Fulham and then lost their next game. But then good that they could come back. And they thoroughly, all three of us saw this game last night. They thoroughly deserved that victory. How much of the ball Liverpool had, they completely deserved it.
I agree. I completely agree with you. Not other great matches. I mean, there was a high-scoring Brighton-Wolves match which nobody cared because Neto only gave 1 assist. So we don't...
Yeah, what is the point then?
Shit about that match. The only thing I'll talk about Wolves is hopefully Diego Costa comes to Wolves and we get a chance to see him back in the Premier League.
But you were adamant that his name also doesn't sound Portuguese, Sapre.
I know, but then I gave it a thought again after you guys convinced me. I heard the podcast again. Then I got convinced of what you guys are saying. So now I'm really excited. I hope that happens.
Why would Diego Costa leave Atletico Madrid and come
to... Why is left already Atletico?
No, yes. I'm saying why would he leave Atletico and come to Wolves?
No, nobody else is going to sign him. He scored 12 goals in 3 seasons.
Arsenal is there to take these old age people.
At City and Liverpool, why is he playing at some Brescia? Is he even at Brescia? Nobody knows.
Monza.
Nobody's going to sign Diego Costa. I mean, Arsenal, you can go ahead and do that if you want to.
I mean, if you're asking me, I will, as long as... I mean, Lacazette scored 5 and 4 or 4 and 5. Yeah, don't jinx him. Let him play a little more. 8.2 million in FPL. Listening.
I agree. I should not jinx anybody. Let's talk about FPL a little bit. Crazy 2 game weeks coming up, which everybody knew were coming very soon, and now they're just here and nobody's prepared. I'm sure
nobody's prepared because coronavirus.
Correct. But Siva, you are prepared. You are the... What are you? If Karthik's the Nadir, you're the Zenith. Zenith of strategy and thought leadership on this podcast.
Arey point to same milta hai, farak kya padta hai. But I just spend more time on FPL because it's fun.
What you did well, everybody did well. How did you do this week?
I think well is relative. There are people I've seen who have 90 points and I got 61, which is higher than average. So I'm guessing I'm above average by that definition. And in my 5th class, that would have been a fantastic report card that my mom would have gotten instead of the poor that she got. So I will take above average for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Karthik, I want to ask you, but I really also don't want to ask you because you take the word fantasy in the term Fantasy Premier League way too seriously and then you end up scoring some 66 points.
Not bad.
No, and this is with Madison and Badrandia on the bench.
What now?
Bednarek is his name.
That guy.
He mixed Bednarek and Bundia.
So about 20 points on the bench.
Oh, that sucks. You should have used bench boost. But Sapre, you've heard this, right? Like, टूटी घड़ी भी दिन में 2 बार सही time दिखा.
Okay, but then having said that, I think if you all go back and look, and I did a little bit of research, ever since I removed Chilwell as my captain after the last month, I've actually beaten the both of you all about 3 out of the 5 game weeks that have happened.
No, I mean, if Lampard would do that, he would also do well. I mean, it's a sign. You've heard this, right? Like, it's not a slur on Karthik, but you guys have heard this, right? Like, a stockbroker was given the opportunity to pick 5 stocks, and then they got a monkey to do the same thing randomly, to pick 5 stocks. And they tracked it over 6 months to see how much skill is there in this process, right? Very similar to FPL because it's a game of chance. To whatever degree you can call it skill. Turns out the monkey ended up with more profit. So, I mean, anything can happen. Not, like I said, not a slur on Karthik. I mean, it doesn't matter if you don't change it.
Why do you keep repeating that? Nobody ever thinks it was even an insult. The way you're saying it, it's like you mean it as
I'm not. I mean, why will I say it and mean the other
I'm
thing?
like a bottom feeder here. I mean, I'm happy that over the last 5 weeks, my thing has only been green. But I realized how low I was because I don't...
Arrow?
Yeah, the arrow. Yeah, the arrow has always been in green and upward trajectory. But
Nice.
I've never...
Nice.
I've never improved position. That means I was so much at the bottom that I'm only getting little, a few pushes up here and there.
Which is fine. I'm not absolutely worried about you overtaking my 3 digits.
Oh, yeah. No, it's coming. I've seen you're fallen over the last couple of weeks. You're coming lower.
I have made a lot of mistakes. But what I've not made a mistake in, I don't know if you guys have qualified for this. It's called the Cup, the FPL Cup. You essentially get drawn randomly against a stranger on the internet, and then you have to beat him or her for that game week. Have you guys seen this? Do you guys know if you qualify?
This and first I thought you have to qualify with certain points, and that's why I'm not there.
Top 3 million.
Now that you said it's randomly picked, and I'm still not chosen. That is what is making me feel bad.
You didn't qualify for the cup?
No, I didn't qualify for the cup.
Okay, so I'll tell you how it's picked. It is picked on points. It is for that particular game week. You have to be 3 million or something, top 3 million. So I think you didn't make the cut for that. Karthik, I'm not worried about. But maybe Karthik did because he did do well. He did better than us. So I'm surprised Karthik.
No, Sapre has got 69 points this game week. So he's been rocking it.
No, I mean the previous game week where you qualify for the cup. So I actually beat this random person on the internet whose team's name is East End Lions, Tom Hayes, obviously Britisher. 61 points, which I got, and he got 54. So I have now been drawn with my next opponent, whose team's name I can't pronounce, but his name is Patrick Diener. So we'll find out because I have activated my chips, and it's going to be a fun 2 game weeks because there are a lot of teams who have 3 games in the 2 game weeks. So now is a good time. And
so Sivaram's telling all of you all listening in, stock up on Fulham players. They have 2 games in hand. It's good.
Fulham are going to play some 7 games.
Full season they'll finish.
Like 180-minute games. Over their shit.
Yeah, Chelsea will play well for the first 10 minutes of that also. Don't worry.
So, but what you've made changes to your team already? Are you thinking of making changes? I'll tell you about me. I want to make changes. I know the changes I want to make, but I'm just worried that these players don't pick up any injuries because there are some serious City players that I want to pick up and United players as well who are both playing. And then there's FA Cup clash. Some of the players are playing there.
Tonight, right? City versus United.
Yeah, that's the City United is tomorrow. Today is Spurs Brentford. And
exciting.
Yeah, so that's the worry. But I'm not using the wildcard right now. I'm hoping that I will get a chance to use it at a later stage, if not the soonest in the game week after this. What about you?
No, I'm actually going with the wildcard already because I want to tinker with my team. I want to make sure I have the 3 game week advantage, 3 games in the 2 game week advantage. The best part is I'm planning to do a bench boost in the following game week as well. So I'll play enough players who have 2 games in the next game week, which is game week, I think, 19. And also because next game is a blank game week for a lot of teams. So I'll still have 11 players who show up. Plus I have basically 22 games the following game week. So that's how I'm planning it. But this is, like I said, very short term, very short-sighted. It might give me a boost now. It may not give me a boost now because last year I remember when there was a double game week, a lot of nil happened. So technically you don't end up getting those many points except for your defenders. So, and the other part that I want to call out is free hit is the best chip in the game. It gives you that license for that 1 week to pick any player you want. And it's in some ways better than a wild card, because with a wild card, you're stuck with the same players the following game week and so on and so forth. But a free hit actually gives you a lot more leverage. So I know Sapre has already used it. Karthik is just trying to find where it is. But the idea is that hold on to that free hit. Don't jump yet. The other reason is coronavirus. We don't know how many footballers have since gone to meet their loved ones, breaking the rules. So we don't know what will happen. There was talk of even the EPL getting pushed until last night at 8 p.m. in the UK, but Boris Johnson basically said we won't stop elite sport. Everything else gets stopped. But you don't know what happens. The other thing is, I don't know if you guys remember last year when there was a break between the game weeks, you got unlimited transfers before the games got back. So if you end up using a wildcard now and you get that postponement again, which I hope we don't, you get technically 2 wildcards. So it's not that big a deal in the long run. So it might work out, it might not. Like I said, a stockbroker and a monkey. At the end of the day,
pick Fulham players.
Yeah. Watch out, white boy, whatever his name is. Diner Tiger. So Karthik, look, Shiva's all about this commercial success, right? Of like doing strategic understanding and chip and I don't know, sauce and salsa and everything else, right? But you are more about the heart, right? So everything else that everyone talks about and the scout and whoever else they pay money to talk. One player that is a differential but will definitely perform.
Jack Harrison.
The
guy from Leeds United, Jack Harrison.
Come on, Sapre, you should know this.
He's going under the radar. I was just looking at some stats. I think this was last week or something. He has one of the high chances created rate. And
so much for someone who plays by the heart.
So Jack Harrison it is. Please go.
I think a better way to put it is Karthik goes more by the eye test as opposed to the heart. Sees players play well and then
he has a cool look, man.
That's everyone in Leeds, Baba. Same haircut they have.
Rodrigo I think can work on it, but everyone else is pretty cool.
I'm sure if Rodrigo is listening to this, work on that haircut, man. It's not Leeds enough.
He did one, but they make him run so much that gel doesn't stay. We should consult Grealish and we should take a quick break and then come back and talk if there is anything else to talk on the other side. I'm sure there is something.
If you love cricket, listen up. The Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast is here for you. Hosted by DJ, Varun, and me, Ashwin, we bring a fun, fresh fan's point of view to talking all things cricket. Sometimes it's just the three of us, sometimes we have guests, including current and former international cricketers. For new episodes every week, check out the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast on the IBM app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And we are back, and so our Barcelona, they finally won. It seems like it's been a while since they won, or they have been winning, but just drawing.
Yeah, but you're right. Every time they win, it seems like, oh my God, finally they've won a match.
Yeah, there is so much chatter on that platform with the Bluebird that we just don't know what's happening.
And then how with the Bluebird.
Yes, I'm not paying me money, so I'm not.
Are you also drinking?
But what is this? What's happening with Messi situation? He gave an assist, I guess, for the goal that they scored. At one goal they scored against the 19th team in the league, whose name I don't know. Manaslu.
Elche they played. Oh, Huesca.
There's a who in the name.
Yeah. Huesca bottom though, not even 19th. You're giving them too much credit, Sapre.
Too much credit. So bottom team, they won 1-0 and it felt like some hard fought victory. But what interested me more is the meme that Karan sent about Coutinho is injured, right? If he plays for 12 more games, Barcelona owe 20 million to Liverpool, and that's why he's injured. Some funny shit. What is Coutinho doing well at Barcelona? I don't know. I don't follow La Liga at all now these days.
No. None of that side is doing really well, right? I mean, with their position only will tell you. And the way they played, I think, in their last group game against Juventus, although it was a pointless match, will tell you. I mean, Atletico are above and beyond the best side in that league at this moment in time. And Suarez is joint top scorer, if I'm not mistaken. So props to him, man.
He scored more than Coutinho, Dembele, and 4 other players from Barcelona. You can just randomly pick.
Yeah, except Messi, because then cheating penalties happen now. So.
Oh, you're saying Messi cheats? Hey, is Messi going somewhere or no? What happened?
No, he gave a long interview where he basically said a lot but said nothing.
Is this the whole interview which happened last time?
No. That was when this was another with a Spanish publication. I forget the name. But yeah, he basically said nothing but said that he would, I think, wait to see who the next president is.
But the next president who's campaigning for it is saying, pay cut to lena padega, but we'll surround you with like
your friends, your WhatsApp group. Basically,
correct. Yeah.
They said that guy said emerging potential. Plus, we'll get Mbappe, Neymar. Everyone is naming. Yeah.
तो पैसा है किधर? अच्छा, इसका pay cut लेके उनका पैसा भरेंगे. Got it.
Correct. That is. But I think we'll know about Messi only once the season ends. Yeah, I don't see him being, because he will want to, even if it's the last 6 months at Barcelona. I don't think he would announce that he's leaving in the final year when they're still in the Champions League and competing for the league.
So tell me this, right? They're not going to win the league for sure this season.
So you never know, right, Sapre? They have...
I know, because I know.
So you're saying Atletico are winning the league? And, yeah, okay, fine. I'll give you that.
Let me put it the other way. Yes, Atletico is winning the league.
Why are we talking so much about Messi? He's 34-year-old. Last time we spoke so much about a 34-year-old, AVB was still at Chelsea. Like, it has been a long time since someone like that he's not even doing anything in that team. Why keep talking about it?
Because he's the most exciting thing that is going to happen in this summer. There is no other big transfer. Like, Mbappe is not going to move to Real Madrid. I mean, Pogba would be a big money signing if he moves, but he's not the Pogba which like a 2014, 2017 signing would have mattered. Haaland is not moving. There's no big player that would move unless...
Werner moved. I'm sure he wants to go back.
Werner wants to go. Let him move properly within the 6 years.
Let him move from the wing to the middle first.
So Messi is the biggest news of the summer. So here is the question. They're not winning the league. What if they drop out of the Champions League, let's say quarter finals, semi-finals? Will he then definitely leave Barcelona?
We don't. I mean, how do you say yes or no to that? If I had to guess, I'm saying yes, he's moving right now. Like, I think he's 100% leaving the club.
So I hope he goes to Milan, which is the whole point.
But that is pure guesswork. Huh? This is just three of us sitting here and just, shooting the breeze.
Of course, we did it without a podcast. Now we're doing it on a podcast. That's
fantastic. If you're still listening in, please send us an invoice. We will promise to pay you back whatever bandwidth you spent on this last segment.
Yeah, or put a pool together, like bet whether Messi... It's not allowed, right, in India? I don't know. It's not allowed.
No. It's only games of skill.
Okay, only skill. Okay.
So Chelsea won't qualify.
Okay, no more. Enough of the games of skill. There are a lot of matches to look forward to, including the one in Italy, Juventus playing Milan. My sources have told me earlier today that Ibrahimovic may not start.
Will not. He's out.
Karthik.
The source is Karthik here.
He's out. He's out of the game.
He's out. So Juventus have
a
chance now to beat Milan's fantastic start to this season. That's one of the better things to look forward to. And then there is Carabao Cup or EFL Cup, whatever it is called. And there are some FA Cup matches. And then there is a lot of football. So we're going to be back next week. I don't know how many game weeks we'll end up covering. 1, 2, the double game week. I don't know. Let's see how the matches turn out to be. And Siva is, as usual, excited for what's going to happen with Arsenal. Karthik's excited because Fulham might just come back as a team.
Yeah, I don't know when they're going to play football again. Yeah,
you have to go to the start of the episode. And I am excited because finally we are being spoken about by other managers about penalties, and I'm sure you've seen all the data that has been lying around on Twitter.
Yeah, very nice.
Hey, wait a minute, what is happening here? I'm looking at next game week, which is on Tuesday, Jan 12th to Jan 15th onwards. There are only 8 games listed and Fulham aren't there.
Yeah, Karthik, it's a blank game week. They aren't playing. So the following game week, Fulham play 2 games.
But we already have 2 games to play. I don't understand.
It was the original schedule which did not incorporate the changes because of the coronavirus.
What are your players so busy doing? Why can't they play every other day?
So Mitrovic went out on the road and partied on New Year's Eve, which is definitely not allowed in any city in the world or in most cities in the world. Okay, so
that's the price Fulham had to pay to get out of this.
He actually went out with Sivaram's favourite, I think, that Milivojevic, the Crystal Palace.
Milivojevic. Yeah.
So the two of them were busy on the street clicking Instagram photos, taking video.
Played.
Yeah. So, but then there's big controversy around it. It's not like they can't play. They broke the rules or guidelines. Yeah. So here's your first learning of the new year. Don't be like Mitrovic or Milivojevic. Do not go out on the street and unnecessarily drink yourselves to death, especially
Mitro se mat Milovic.
right in this period of time. But once again, from Siva, from Sapre, from me, Karthik, a very, very happy new year to all of you. See you next week.
So if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media handles. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I'm Fickleberry Hun on Twitter and Instagram. That's Huckleberry Finn, but Fickle.
If you want to reach out to me, I am Sapre on Twitter and Sapre on Instagram.
You can reach out to me at iRant, which is IYERANT on Twitter and Instagram. This is Football Shootball. Recognize.
Namaskar, dear friends. My name is Ashish Vidyarthi. Life, as you know, is a journey. And you and I, travelers, how can we celebrate this travel? I have a podcast for you. Begin the journey. I share stories and moments from my life. Do tune in every Monday and Thursday to listen to my podcast on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from. Cheers.
What are some of the radical changes that are now shaping our workspace? With physical distancing and heightened safety protocols being the norm, will technology finally make its large-scale entry to the workspace? Will design as we know it change for the long term? Is it possible for the Indian commercial real estate space to adopt a 360-degree approach to sustainability? Join our hosts at the Future of Space podcast by RMZ as we deliberate with industry leaders, analysts, and bright young minds on the way forward for the workspace given the new COVID normal. Tune in to the IVM Podcasts app or wherever you stream your favorite podcasts